Bitter criticism. Reading genocide dossier, I guess, or Russia. Let's read some Russian news. My favorite are CGTN because sometimes they are positive and substantial. And Russia is all about war, but war is also important. Like this one. March 9, 2025. Home World News. France to found Ukrainian military with interest from frozen Russian assets. Russia's top member of parliament has denounced the plan as a violation of international law. And there's a photograph from Sébastien Lecornu, which is the French Minister of Armed Forces. Ministry, huh? France will use the interest accrued on Russia's frozen central bank assets to procure weapons for the Ukrainian military, the country's defense minister Sébastien Lecornu has announced. Russian State Duma Speaker Vyacheslav Volodin criticized the decision, stating it contravenes international law. Following the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in February 2022, Western states froze an estimated $300 billion worth of Russian sovereign funds, of which approximately $213 billion is held by the Brussels-based clearinghouse Euronuclear. The assets have already generated billions in interest, of which Euronuclear already transferred 1.55 billion euros, which is 1.63 billion dollars directly to Ukraine last July. In an interview to France's La Tribune Dimanche on Saturday,
Atención, para abrir la puerta del tren, presione el botón cuando se ilumine.
Lecornu said that, quote, thanks to interest from frozen Russian assets, we will also tap new funds worth 195 million euros, end quote. He revealed that Paris will use the money to finance the delivery to Kiev of 155 mm artillery shells. I don't know which is 155
Estación Bellavista.
millimeters, I guess. Artillery shells and glide bombs compatible with the Mirage 2000 fighter jets that France has handed over to Ukraine. The official added that France also plans to supply an unspecified number of armored fighting vehicles, including the AMX-10 RC. You know what the analyst says about analysts like Pepe Escobar, which is always follow, and maybe Richard Wolff too. What the analysts are saying is that Europe doesn't have the money, the EU doesn't have the money to keep this war. Oh, yeah, and also Viktor Orban. Volodin, the chairman of the State Duma, the lower house of the Russian parliament, denounced the scheme as a contravening international law. Quote, what is obviously hysteria, born of impotence, has finally gotten the better of reason, end quote, the member of parliament said on Sunday. Responding to a similar move by the UK on Friday, Volodin warned that London, quote, will have to give back to Russia what they are now so generously giving away, end quote, adding that Moscow has, quote, every reason to respond in kind, end quote. The remarks came shortly after Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal confirmed that Kiev had received a first tranche worth about $1 billion from London, secured by proceeds from the Russian assets. Late last year, the U.S. also transferred the first $1 billion installment of a $20 billion U.S. loan backed by interest earned from the immobilized Russian assets. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said at the time that, quote, this money was stolen from us. Our assets have been frozen absolutely illegally, against all norms and rules. He added that Russia will exhaust all legal avenues to protect its property and rights, while Kiev has long been pressing its Western backers to outright expropriate the frozen Russian assets to finance its military and reconstruction efforts. A number of EU member states, most notably Germany, France, and Italy, have been reluctant to do so, citing legal concerns. The International Monetary Fund has also warned that appropriating the funds without a clear legal basis could undermine global confidence in Western financial institutions. And I guess what the West is claiming is that the invasion was absolutely illegal and stuff, you know. But there's one more thing to say about the invasion and the Donetsk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia regions annexation is that those people voted. So now is a destruction made by Russia against Russia. So is a domestic issue. Just guessing
Por tu
that.
seguridad y la de todos los pasajeros, no te sientes en el suelo.
Just guessing that the regions will remain Russian. There's another news about Ukraine. That says March 9, 2025, home, Russia and former Soviet Union. Ukraine strikes market in Russian town with HIMARS governor. Numerous civilian casualties were reported after at least 2 missiles struck a market in Kherson region. Regional head Vladimir Saldo has said. The Ukrainian military launched 2 HIMARS rockets directly at the stalls of a market in the town of Veliky Kopany in Russia's Kherson region on Sunday, according to regional governor Vladimir Saldo. The attack left several civilians dead and a lot wounded, Saldo said, citing preliminary data. Dozens of civilians were at the market when at least 2 projectiles fired from a U.S.-supplied M142 HIMARS multiply rocket launcher struck the location, according to a Telegram post by Saldo, which included images from the aftermath. The photos show one building badly damaged, with thick smoke billowing from it. Footage circulating online shows a destroyed van ablaze outside of the market, with an injured or possibly dead person lying next to it. A paramedic and driver with the local emergency medical services were also injured in the attack, the regional health minister, Elena Borshaninova, told TASS. At least 7 civilians were injured in the attack, with one subsequently succumbing to his injuries, the ministry press service told the news agency. The exact number of casualties has not yet been officially established, as the wounded are still being transferred to hospitals. At least some of the victims were sent to the coastal city of Skadovsk, located some 20 kilometers from the south of Veliky Kopany. Quote, the information is still preliminary. We are waiting for all the victims. They have been sent to the Skadovsk hospital. So far, only 2 have been brought in. Unfortunately, one of the 2 has died. The health ministry told RIA Novosti. Kiev has been receiving M142 HIMARS and its heavier track causing the M270 MLRS since mid-2022 from the US and other Western backers. The systems, once touted as a key tool for striking high-value Russian assets, have routinely been used by Kiev for indiscriminate strikes on civilian targets deep beyond the front line. Yeah.
Estación Portales.
People say this. Pepe Escobar say Zelensky is kind of is a gangster, like the inner circle. His inner circle is pure gangster.